Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and I remembered to turn the Masters on. You know, that's in my neck of the woods over in Augusta, Georgia. And but little trivia here, I've never been to the Masters. Just about everybody I know, not just has been, but a lot of the people I know go almost every year. I'm not a golfer, although I can see the appeal. If you could actually hit well enough to not be looking for your ball the whole time you're playing like I do, I could see how it would be an addictive thing. The problem is you have to carve out a lot of time that I don't really want to carve out to go do that. I've got too much going on with my kids and all of that. Maybe when I'm an old man, like a real old man, I'll be like one of those people at what's that place down in Florida with the retirement community? I'm sure you all know what it is. Maybe I'll be one of those old people out there that plays golf all day, every day. I don't know. But I'm kind of addicted to being productive in my business life and everything. So I don't see myself going out for I feel like I'm wasting 3 hours of my day that I could be doing something productive. But I have a lot of friends that spend, they're golfing almost, 2 or 3 days a week. And I'm like, wow, how do you have the time to do that? And I probably, doing social media, I probably have as much time as anybody to do stuff like that. But it's amazing how many days, you'd be surprised at how many days I just get glued to the internet looking and making sure, because crypto changes by the minute, the second. And so you almost have to be sitting at your computer a lot of the time. That's okay, I enjoy it. Look at this, Gold Telegraph. You're starting at my gut's tugging at me about this right now. You are starting at years of monetary mismanagement, finally starting to bubble up to the surface. I have tried to telegraph this daily. Yes, on Gold Telegraph you have. If you slowly peel back the system's layers, you realize it leads to gold. Revaluations happen to coincide with resets. Enjoy the show. 1000% right. And then zero hedge, you got gold prices, precious metals soaring above 2,400 after sudden gap higher. When I saw this right here, you know what the first thought that popped in my mind is, man, if what's going to happen here is what I think is going to happen here, Michael Saylor is going to have some very sleepless nights. Then here, this is from a broadcast in India. Gold rush. Why are banks buying gold?
Prices have touched a record high this week. Yesterday, gold prices in India crossed the 73,000 mark. 73,000 rupees, that's around $875 for 10 grams of pure gold. At the beginning of this year, the price was hovering around 65,000 rupees, almost $780. So India has seen a sharp increase. What about the international markets? Same story. Globally, gold prices are up by over 16%. And what's driving this rally? The world's central banks. They're buying gold in large quantities, and they've been at it for a while. It started with China almost 2 years ago. China's central bank is called the People's Bank of China, or the PBC.
Look, this is the only thing that I have in common with the CCP and the Chinese central bank. I'm buying gold too. I bought some last week. In fact, before I go there, I'll show you this. This is Jim Rickards, who was in the CIA. The White House is considering stealing $300 billion in Russian-owned U.S. treasuries. Since the idea was vetted, gold has gone up $500 per ounce. Russia owns 3,000 metric tons of gold. So Russia has made $50 billion on the scare talk. What idiots they are in D.C. Well, let's insert a word here. What corrupt idiots they are in D.C. Now, if you want gold, I bought some from Miles Franklin, my sponsor, last week. This is my sponsor, and all you have to do is go to their website. It's franklin.com. It's in the top of the description of my video here. And my code is DAI Gold. Give them the code DAI Gold. You click on sign up, and right here there's a place to put your referral code, and you can go and buy gold. This is where I buy it. I went in there and bought it on the website last week. I just got the shipping notification. So check that out for sure. Check this out. Fruition Productions, who's doing the XRP Unleashed documentary, turns out they've now got 1.3 million views. So all of the whiners and the naysayers that were talking about how the right people, because they said so, the right people were not in the documentary, and only the people they choose, and only the people that they think are important should be in it. You know, this is what happens in dictatorships is there's some central part of the problem with dictatorships is, how do you decide who gets to pick who's important and who's not? If it's only the developers and the builders that are important in crypto, my question to any of those people would be, oh, okay, well, let's say somebody that's been at Ripple in marketing for 10 years, or even a secretary at Ripple that's been there for a long time, or an assistant to Brad Garlinghouse or Chris Larson. Are they not important enough to be in a documentary like this? I think that they are. I think they have all kinds of stories. I think that if they were allowed to be in such a documentary, it would be fascinating. I would love to hear what the assistant to Chris Larson would have to say, or be allowed to say, on such a documentary. She's not a builder. I don't care if it's a she. I don't even know if it's a she, but I'm making a point here, folks. Everybody has different life experiences, different skill sets, and for anybody to come along and tell you that this person is important and that person is not, that's somebody who's got a problem between the ears, which makes me very glad to see. Apparently 1.3 million people think you don't know what you're talking about, and I happen to be at least 5 to 10 of the 1.3 million because I watched it that many times, I'm confess. You know, everybody thought that John McAfee was just wild and crazy, cuckoo. He may have been a little cuckoo, or he may have just been on some things. But he's also, I believe, a genius.
Nobody will use Bitcoin anymore. It's old, clunky, slow, expensive.
Focus in on the word use.
With zero privacy. Nobody uses it. It's a piece of shit that the world has not understood yet.
So, John, just to play devil's advocate, because I want to hear your thoughts on this. I mean, there's a lot of ways that they're trying to add more privacy features to Bitcoin, right?
Are you shitting me? Are you shitting me? Yes, like there's a lot you can add to a Model T Ford to make it a fucking space rocket. Good God, wake up, my friend. No, it's stupid. Fucking please, God. You look like a man with a brain. You know better than this. You fucking know better.
John, I agree with you on the need for privacy. it's just not a reality.
Not just privacy. Not just privacy. Show me how the fuck you put a smart contract on the Bitcoin blockchain. Impossible. Well, what use is the goddamn blockchain without a smart contract? Everybody has a smart contract except Bitcoin. What about a distributed application? You can't put dApps. You can't put dApps on it. Please, God, please wake the fuck up. If you actually believe Bitcoin is worth more than 5 cents, then please explain that to me.
Moving along. All right. I showed you this video. I had put this video together to show you how Elizabeth Warren once again set up a committee meeting there in the Senate to make it appear like here's some guy from the Deputy Treasury who's just, this is just an independent person from the Deputy Treasury, just happens to have the same exact opinion as Elizabeth Warren on things. Well, here, Brian Brooks spells it all out for you, for those of you that still don't get it.
I'm not saying this because I'm some partisan hack. I mean, the other side would tell you this. there's a whole of government opposition to crypto today. And it's not an accident, and it's not based on the nuances of securities law. It's a policy judgment that was made at the time of the election. And what I mean by that is that a thing that happened in the 2020 election that's not as widely known as it should be is when then candidate Biden was running for office, and if you remember, he lost the first two primaries. So he was not looking like a likely winner. And he went into the South Carolina primary, which was the best chance he had of locking up, delegates going into the next Super Tuesday campaign. Elizabeth Warren at the time was a strong candidate. She was seen as a very viable opposition candidate to him. There was basically Biden, Sanders, and Warren. Warren struck a deal with the Biden campaign during the South Carolina primary. It's a true story, which basically said, listen, in exchange, because this was her talking, I don't see a path to raising enough money to get through Super Tuesday, even if I might come in second here, blah, blah, blah. So I tell you what, I will drop out and I will endorse you if you will agree that I get decision-making authority over the financial agencies. So I get to pick the heads of those agencies, and those agencies are going to agree to implement an agenda that I have. And this makes sense, right? Because her whole career was about consumer finance and consumer bankruptcies. I mean, she cares more about these issues than any other single person. And that deal was struck. So she endorsed Biden. Biden then became the nominee and won the election. What you see today, therefore, it's not Gary Gensler reading the securities laws and saying, regrettably, Ethereum might meet the standards to be a security. He was put there to fight crypto. Right? Remember, Elizabeth Warren has a campaign apparatus called the Anti-Crypto Army. That's her name, not mine. So too with the acting controller of the currency, another person who was picked from the Warren world to come and enact that policy at the OCC. So too, a number of other key people, specifically including the head of the SEC, Gary Gensler. What you would see in a Trump administration is something that would be very, very different. So first of all, and I take a little bit of personal credit for this, it's not all me, but I think I was the first person to start this conversation. I spent a lot of time with the Senate Banking Committee Republicans and the House Financial Services Republicans, talking to them about the...
Okay, in DAIXRP.com, just a reminder, you can get your discount links in there to XRP Las Vegas. There's only there might be 19 days till the thing. We're ticking down quick now. So in DAIXRP.com, I'm going to kind of have a little bit of a discussion about EthGate and some things I'm doing, and just to let you know kind of where that sits, because actually, let me think here. Yeah, I'm going to go over that a little bit and kind of describe to you where I'm coming from on EthGate and some of the things going on. I see it as our mission, maybe my mission, to make sure that EthGate is properly understood by those that are, some of the bigger media people that are coming in and looking at this now. We're going to make sure, because you've worked too hard, I've worked too hard, the sleuths have worked too hard, to not make sure that the correct record about what EthGate is and what it is not is known. And I'm going to show you, kind of go over that. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, tell your friends and family that away we go.